The international break's finally over and there's no more for another 17 weeks, so let's get straight back into the game. Building from the back, I've got Pickford against United at home, whilst I've got Turner against Brighton at home on the bench. It looks like Turner's lost his starting place anyway, but if he did have an easy fixture I would start him because he'll either get 0 minutes or 90 minutes. There's two reasons why I've made this selection. Everton's got a better defence than Forest, they've got lower expected goals conceded figures, and Brighton's got a better attack than United, they've got higher XG figures. This data's fed through the clean sheet odds, where Pickford's got a better chance of getting a clean sheet than Turner. To be fair, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is an easy fixture, but he has got the home advantage, and looking at the alternative goalkeepers, if I'm going to dead end into blank game week 18 and wildcard in game week 19, there's no option that stands out where I think it's going to gain enough points to spend a free transfer on them. If I could switch to any goalkeeper, that would be Areola. He is only 0.1 mil cheaper though, so I don't think his points per million will be that much higher. In fact, I think they'll score a similar amount of points anyway. In defence is Trippier against Chelsea at home. If you look at Newcastle's next 4 fixtures from a defensive perspective, I don't think Trippier is going to provide good value for money. I'll reveal his potential replacement towards the end of the video, and I will discuss the main reason why I'm probably going to sell him as well. Next up is Gabriel against Brentford away. I wouldn't say that's an easy fixture, but funnily enough, Arsenal have the highest clean sheet odds out of all the teams this game week, with 37%. The clean sheet odds are the absolute lowest that I've ever seen them spread across the teams. That's because City face Liverpool, which means Liverpool face City. Chelsea face Newcastle, which of course means that Newcastle face Chelsea, and they're the best defences in the league. Then you've got Arsenal as well. Lastly in defence is Baldock against Bournemouth at home. Now I know that Sheffield United's defence is poor, but Bournemouth at home is not a bad fixture. And you look at my defenders on the bench, you've got Cash against Spurs away and Tsimikas against City away. They're not very high clean sheet probabilities. Of course, Cash and Tsimikas offer that attacking threat, but so does Baldock as well. Another problem is that his expected minutes are quite low, but I think it's worth taking that risk, because even if Cash and Tsimikas play 90 minutes each, I don't think I'm going to get much out of them. Joining them on the bench is Baldock's teammate Asula. He's not been getting many minutes at all, but if he does get minutes, he's ahead in the pecking order of the other 2 players for the same reason that Baldock is. Moving on to midfield, unfortunately I've still got the United midfield double up of Rashford and Bruno. They've got Everton away. That's not as easy of a fixture from an attacking perspective as it used to be, and they've really let me down this season, especially Rashford, and Rashford's definitely going to be leaving the team next game week for Salah, and with that double free transfer, I might even be shifting Bruno on as well. Benefit of hindsight, I wish I'd have shifted Rashford on sooner, but of course I've had bigger fires to put out, and he's completely underperformed his expectations. Nobody thought he would do that bad this season. Next up is a midfielder that's definitely staying in my team. That's Saka against Brentford away. Out of all my players, he is in the running for captaincy, but he's more of an outsider. Someone who's more of an insider for the running for captaincy is Son against Villa at home. Right now, I'd say Son and Haaland are the top 2 candidates for captaincy for me this game week. It is quite close between the 2 of them. I would put Son slightly further ahead if Maddison was playing, but he is absent, and that means that there's going to be less creativity behind him, so I think it's quite close, maybe even neck and neck. That means that I will be publishing a best captain video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. All the data analysis will be in there. Completing the midfield is Mbeumo against Arsenal at home. That's a difficult fixture, but with what he's providing this season, he's going absolutely nowhere. He's got Luton at home in game week 14 and Sheffield United away in game week 16 as well. Even with his blank in game week 18, I still don't think there's a midfielder that's the same price or cheaper that's going to score more points up until that game week 19 wildcard. Up front is Haaland against Liverpool at home, and it's that fixture that splits the captaincy this game week. That's not an easy fixture, and it's even harder for Liverpool, so I definitely wouldn't captain Salah this game week against the best defence in the league, away from home. And if Haaland had Villa at home, Son faced Liverpool at home, then Haaland would easily be the best captain. It's that fixture difficulty that makes it slightly harder for Haaland that gives us something to think about. Lastly is João Pedro against Forest away. When I brought him in, Welbeck got injured and I thought he'd get more minutes. He was only 5.3 mil, so I thought he'd provide good value for money with the penalty duties. I knew he wouldn't be playing 90 minutes every match, but I thought he'd play more than he has. Obviously Ferguson's been eating into those minutes, and recently he's picked up an injury, so hopefully he does play more minutes now. but we'll see. It's worth noting that this video has been recorded before the press conferences, so obviously Ferguson could get cleared of his injury, but I doubt it. When you look on Premier Injuries, he's currently got a 25% chance of playing. So with the chance that he could get decent minutes this game week, I can't see any alternatives that are the same price or cheaper that are worth bringing in. I have considered bringing in Solanke, who's got really nice fixtures right up until that game week 19 wildcard. The problem is, he does cost more, and right now if I wasn't to make any free transfers, I could sell Rashford and Bruno for Salah and Palmer. Therefore, it's really going to strain down my budget, and I'd probably have to get rid of Son instead of Bruno, which is not ideal. So instead, the transfer that I'm considering is Trippier down to Saliba. That leaves plenty of money in the bank and plenty of flexibility next game week. I'm not forced into selling a certain player because he costs more, and it also opens up the options of players that I could bring in. If you've made it to this point in the video, you might as well subscribe because you've clearly found it informative. Another reason to subscribe is my best captain video that's coming out shortly. Thanks for watching.